everyone. Today is Wednesday, right? June 2nd, 2021. And my name is Rachel Yang. I'm the founder and host of Project We Inspire. So today we have our special guest, Xai Lor. This is my second interview with her. And Xai Lor is the owner of iYa Taekwondo Studio on Greenhaven. So I don't know the address by heart, but you can look it up. And she is a 4th degree black belt master instructor, 2-time cancer survivor, and also she just wrote her autobiography, which will be coming in the fall.
Yes.
But today we're going to talk about her grand opening of the iYa Taekwondo Studio, and we're going to talk about her journey and what it's been like to be a Taekwondo owner, business owner. And then we're going to also talk about the grand opening of her teen center, and she's going to talk a little bit about that. So that's happening this Saturday. And so again, we want to thank Xai Lor for being here with us. We do not have a camera person, so you know what, we're just going to wing it. But thank you guys for supporting Project We Inspire and being here to support Xai Lor.
Thank you. Well, it's in my house. So,
I know. So I was going to say.
It's in my house, so that's why we don't have her camera crew.
Yeah. And so if you guys don't know, from our first interview, Xai and I, we grew up together. We've known each other since we were in our early teens. And so now we're older. I'm not going to say age, but we're older. So we've been friends for quite a long time from Chico, California. So shout out to Chico. But we are now here in Sacramento. And again, we are so happy that Xai is joining us today. Again, she's been an inspiration for me, like a sister, a friend. There's been so many things she's accomplished in her life. So we definitely want to highlight her life and her business.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for letting me come on again and share my story and what we're going to do in the next, in 3 days, and what we're doing going forward. So thank you for this time.
No problem. Thank you. So I'm going to go right into the questions. Now that you've opened iYa Taekwondo for 10 years, right? And I think you talked about how it's so important to reach that 10th year mark. So what has been some important lessons that you've learned being a business owner and being a Taekwondo business owner?
Well, for sure, it takes a lot of hard work, just like anything else. So you have to, there will be days when you work 24/7. Owning a business is, the first 5 years is really hard. And you have to just, persevere through that. After that, it gets a little bit easier, so some things that I learned along the way are, work hard, persevere, no matter how hard things get, you gotta just grind through it. And then, finding mentors, good mentors that are experienced in different areas. So, for example, I have mentors that help me emotionally and spiritually. I have mentors that help me financially. I have mentors that are experienced in the industry and help me with my curriculum or how to grow the business. So there are different mentors in my life, guides that have done it before and are showing you the way how to do it. So definitely get some mentors in your life to help you in terms of business. Let's see. It worked really hard.
I definitely have seen Xai work so hard where there'll be, weeks, months, if not years, that we've not seen each other because you've been working so hard at your business and then, been working out with my career. So definitely hard work and
a lot of patience. And you're going to get, there are times I always tell my mom, I ask my mom, I was like, Mom, how come all of my friends are playing and going on vacation and doing things and they're having so much fun, partying and everything, and I'm over here slaying away, and not doing any kind of thing that is fun? And so it's okay. When I was young and I had an elder told me, he said, and I speak about that sometimes, he said, you want to have 15 years of your life where you're working really hard and it's okay to struggle and to push through those 15 years and work hard those 15 years, because then it'll pay off in the next 50 years will be a lot easier versus if you do 15 years of fun and luxury, the next 50 years will be very hard. So I got my 10 in, I got 5 more.
5 more.
And it's already getting easier. You know, life is already getting easier. You know, doing things that I enjoy, and I look forward to the next, you know, the 50 years after that. You know, we're gonna be doing a lot of celebrating and fun stuff. So yeah.
No, that's actually really important to know, because I think a lot of people think that it's better to have fun along the way, and that 15 years of the grinding, you know, the hard work, is the hardest part, to lay that foundation. So that's really good to know. So you definitely have learned hard work, patience, never give up, and definitely having good mentors to push you along the way, right? And you mentioned about the mental, spiritual support, and then somebody who's already been in the business, so they can give you advice about your curriculum and stuff. So I think that's very valuable, because that's something that I said, you know, what would you learn, or what can you learn when you've been owning a business successfully for 10 years? Because I bet a lot of people, you know, can share a lot about that. So my next question is, what has been the most rewarding part about owning your own business, or your own Taekwondo studio in particular? What's the best part about it?
I appreciate you asking that question. I will speak specifically about 2 things. The first is that, you know, and as a cancer patient as well, a lot of people always ask me, like, how did you do it? Like, how did you raise 3 kids on your own, run your business, and survive cancer? And the reason why I was able to do all of that is because I had my own business. Therefore, I was able to create my own schedule. You know, it was flexible. I could take the kids to, the rewarding part is that I could take my kids to school in the morning, spend time with them, be a mom. While they're in school, I get to do my personal stuff or work in the office and do the back end stuff. And then when they come back, I'm privileged enough to have, you know, babysitters or assistants or people help me. And then I could, you know, really do the work. Because Taekwondo, for us, we teach from 3, our prime time is from 3 in the afternoon until 8 o'clock at night. And so that's usually when most moms are at home doing homework,
Making dinner,
doing
laundry.
doing laundry. But for me, you know, unfortunately, I didn't get to do the homework and I mean, mind you, there are some days when we would do homework and I would be, you know, teaching class over here, and then I'll take a break and I come in, okay, Mom, what's this? And, you know, then we would try to figure it out. There are times that happened too, but then as I grew, I was blessed to have able to hire tutors and babysitters to come and help me, so that way I can free up that time or utilize leverage to help me be able to take care of my children's academic, but at the same time grow my business. The second most rewarding thing about being a business owner is that, you know, like I can be a mom and I have the freedom and the flexibility to be able to do kind of what I want, you know. And so, I mean, mind you, the first 5 years was really hard. Like I said earlier, everybody got to do everything, and I didn't get.
You had to watch everybody have fun and go to places.
Right.
And you still had to build your business.
Right. So while everyone's having fun, I'm over here, you know, grinding away. But now it's flipped to where everyone's still doing their own thing, you know, but then I could do a lot more with my time, and there's the flexibility of, you know, I can do whatever I want. You know, thankfully I have enough people on my team I have an amazing team, you know, that can support me. And while class is going on right now, that's why I'm able to be here with you. And so those are some of the rewarding things, most rewarding. And no, that's the first. The second is, in my trade, I get to influence kids. You know, my main customers or clients are between the age of 5 and 10. And I always tell my parents, this is the most, you know, the stage where kids are most where we can influence them the most, you know. And so I'm rewarded when I'm able to work with them and help them grow and be a part of their lives and see them go from like this little tiny person who maybe didn't have a lot of self-control or maybe
self-esteem,
self-confidence,
yeah,
and then go to be someone who has more confidence and can control their body, years down the line. And at the same time, I get to be in a child's life for, there are kids that have been with me for 10 years, and so, you become family, and you grow together, you get to see them grow from this one human being to, this amazing person. And so that is rewarding, and it fulfills me so that I want to do it again and again, and I don't get tired, so, that's why I love my job, and I haven't worked a day in 10 years, because I love what I do, and I'm very blessed to do what I do.
That's so awesome, because I think with all the entrepreneurs that I've met so far, that's one of the best things they say about owning your own business, is that you love what you do. It's so fulfilling, and it doesn't feel like working every day. It just feels like you're helping people, you're part of people's family, you're coaching, you're making an impact in their lives. And so definitely, when I was thinking about what drives you, I was like, what makes her go and do this every day? And
those little eyes.
The smiles.
Yeah.
So if you guys have been to our studio and you go there during the prime time, to 3 to 8, and sometimes I'll drop by, just to, get a stand or, talk to Xai. Definitely come check her out, because you'll see all these little kids who look up to Xai, who look up to her instructors, her kids, and it's an amazing atmosphere. It's a great environment to be in. So I just want to encourage everybody to be surrounded by that, because when you're fulfilled and happy with what you do, the others around you feel it too, So with that said, of course you've had challenges, right? So what has been the most challenging, or the let's say things that have challenged you to really grow and really push forward, and you're just I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this, but I got to do it, because I bet there's been some big challenges for you.
A lot of challenges. I think the biggest one is, and a lot of my friends on Facebook and in the community knows, and my students, my biggest challenge was one, being a single mom. When my ex-husband left, it was really hard. It was very, very hard. My youngest son was 3 years old at the time.
And what year were you in your business?
2011.
11. So that would be year.
So we were in year 3.
3.
Yeah, we were year 3.
I want everybody to know that. So imagine you're working on your business, and year 3, your partner decides to up and leave, and you're there trying to grow your business. Not to put down any partners, but this is the struggle, right? These are the challenges, and you're with the 3 kids and the business.
Because at times, we don't always see eye to eye, because when you have, just think about having a baby, right? When you bring 2 people are together and it's a beautiful relationship, but then you bring in a baby, it changes the dynamic. When you bring in a business, it changes the dynamic completely, because you can raise a kid together and still have some flexibility, because you're only answering to your child. But when you have a business, you're answering to hundreds of children. The entire community, pretty much. Yeah, exactly. And so it makes it kind of hard. And then there's finances involved, there's marketing and all this other stuff that comes with the business that makes it really hard. And you may not see eye to eye to that, so it makes it really challenging. And especially because you see each other at work, and then you go home, and then you see each other again. Some people can do it, but some people can't. And it takes a lot to be able to do that kind of stuff. But the first challenge was that, I became a single mom, and I did it by myself. There were days when, I put my son on my back. There's pictures on my social media where I have my son on my back, and then I'm teaching class, with him on my back. So it was hard, because, now I have to juggle. And at that time, we were not, I couldn't afford a lot of assistance. I couldn't afford a babysitter. So, I really had to do, my kids, God bless
You were the
them.
you were the babysitter, the instructor, the tutor.
Right, exactly. So my kids would be, sleeping in the back room, And I feel it breaks my heart because I see them and they're so tired
Mm-hmm.
and they're waiting for me, and I'm like teaching class until like 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and then I would wake them up and then take them home. And so those are like really hard days.
Yes.
Those are really, really hard days. You know, but then what do? You just gotta push forward.
Yes.
And that's the thing I said earlier about persevering. You know, it doesn't matter how hard it gets, you know, you just gotta keep pushing,
Mhm.
you know, and keep grinding. Some other challenges, of course, you know, is health issues. You know, I think that because of the stress of having to do all of that and then other things, I'm sure, you know, I was diagnosed with cancer, and then again the second time, and then
And what year were those again? Because I want to remind everybody who's watching and who's listening is that, you know, if you can only imagine building a business and then being a single mom after the third year and, you know, carrying a baby on the back, and then you have your two other girls, you know, daughters, sleeping because they're tired, and you're working, you know, the non-conventional hours of 8 to 5, 9 to 6. You're working after school hours when everybody's supposed to be at home, right?
right,
3 to 8, 3 to 9, pretty
but
much.
that's only the floor time when people are there. Okay, you got to think about from you know, I'm speaking for all of my school owners and business people out there.
Because of what
Yeah.
Xai's talking about.
From like I drop off the kids at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then I come back to the school from 8:30 till about 2 o'clock. I'm working, and then when the kids, and then my students come, and then I work with them, and then from like 9 to you know, we come home from 9 to 10 o'clock or 11. I'm getting them ready, you know, feeding them finally, and then they go to bed, and then I start working from 12 o'clock till 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, and then that's when I get in all of my. I remember making flyers, doing all of my marketing stuff from 12 to 3.
12 midnight. That's how 12
Yeah.
afternoon. 12 midnight.
12 midnight to
3 in the morning. Yes.
And then sometimes, you know, I would be so motivated because I'm the type of person that wants to get things done,
Right.
you know, and I can't like let it go if it's not done. So I'll grind until it's
Because
done.
everything depends on you, right?
Right,
Everything
exactly.
is up to you, and I think that's I think the best part about the story of your journey is that when you know, figured, of course, right away that once your partner left, you have to do everything. So I think of her day, waking up at 6, 7, and then taking the kids to school at 8, and then, you know, doing all your regular work, trying to get everything ready, picking up the kids at 2, starting your class at 3, working all the way till 9, with your babies, sleeping or on your back, and then coming home, feeding them, and then putting them in bed, and then still working from 12 to 3.
Correct.
And and that's what I definitely call the definition of grinding.
That is
you know, because when you're a business owner and you put in your time, that's what you do. And so I think that's one of the reasons why Xai has been, I think, a role model and a motivator or inspiration for me and a lot of people in the community, because when you draw out your hours and your days of work, I'm like, whoa, it's even beyond overtime. It's like double overtime. You know, you're running into they call it like the double, triple shifts now. You know.
I don't
Yeah,
know what that is.
It's not even. I just know.
I just know that you keep working. There's no shift at all. You just go.
Yeah.
You just keep working, and one thing after
Exactly.
the kids sleep, you wake up, and you just keep going.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I think that's what people really need to know about Xai's schedule in life is when they, and I want to clarify this because I see the beautiful pictures of her going, you know, to, let's say, Mexico and all these wonderful vacations and golfing and stuff, but I think people don't know the real schedule behind all that. And these postings are like once every 6 months, once every year, once every 3 months.
Like I said, keep in mind that, you know, the first 7 years of my life, actually more like the first 8 years, like none of that.
I've never seen it.
None of that.
I've never been able to get this girl out to come hang out with me.
It's just been in the last like year and a half that, you know, I decided that the business is growing. I have a wonderful team that can take care of themselves. And then now I can like spend a little bit of time, you know, to really grow myself personally, you know, and so that's what I've been able to do. And that's why, you know, and on my post, you can see my personal stuff. Like, okay, I'm actually spending some time to really just enjoy the fruit of my labor, you know, but my labor was very long and it, you know, it took a long time to get here. And I still have a lot of time left. I still have a lot more to do because I mean it's not over. I have I have a book that I'm writing. I have the teen center that's just starting. So now we gotta like the 15 for that. That baby is gonna start with my last 5. So it kind of overlaps each other. But because I love what I do and the idea that I'm able to influence kids or teens, it's not work. It's not work. It's just what we do. Like you just do it because it's the right thing to do.
You were saying that before. It's just a part of your life. It's a part of everything you're doing. So this leads me to the next question. What inspired you to open the iYa Pocket Teen Center? Because I was totally surprised by it, and I know she loves the surprise element. So she got me on that one. Yeah. But I really love the fact that she's been rebuilding the inside of your studio. And if you've been there before, it's expanded big time. And she has a really big office now and everything. But I was like, what is she doing? Yeah. So now, if you can, share with our audience and with everybody, what inspired you to start this teen center?
Thank you for asking that question. So when I was a teenager, I grew up in the youth ministry, and I've always worked with children since age 13. And I just gravitate towards kids, and kids and I'm a big kid. Well, I'm a little kid in a big body, and I could, just play with kids, and we understand each other. And so I have one of my friends said, it's my talent to be able to talk to kids. And so I was like, whoa, that's so cool.
I like that.
I know, right?
That's a really cool way to look at it. It's your talent.
It's my talent.
It's your talent.
It's my talent to be able to talk to children. And
it's not easy.
No, it's not. No one, you can't just go in there and start speaking to kids and all of a sudden they're going to listen and respect you, Yeah. So I never heard of it that way, but a friend just recently told me, Xai, that's your talent. You should just go with it. And I said, yeah, that's a good idea. So when I was a little person as a teen, I was in the youth ministry and I got to work with children, and I really saw how the struggles that kids go through, along with my own personal struggle, not having my father in my life and having that void and being suicidal. I mean, we were there together.
Exactly.
And so...
And for those of you who don't know, Xai grew up without her bio father, but had a stepfather. And so,
So there's always a void of wanting to find who he is
and find who you are. I saw that, right? And I think a lot of people don't know a lot of that about you and your background. And I think that we saw each other struggle with that void, with suicidal thoughts, depression, anxiety. And I think it's really important for those of you out there who are listening to Xai's story now and are knowing where she's coming from, is that you're not alone. It's like you have to keep pushing forward and to find the things that inspire you.
To fill that void.
Fill that void.
Yeah. So what I decided as a kid, on my bucket list or my wish list or my to-do list, and I had lists already when I was younger. Yes. So one of the things on my list was to build a sanctuary. Build a sanctuaries where kids can go to and just play and be themselves and have fun and have, be safe, right? And so last year, so that's always been in the back of my mind. I just didn't know how I was going to do it. But the Taekwondo Center kind of fulfilled that need until, a lot of it has to do with also my daughter, who my 16-year-old, as she grows, I'm trying to find things to support her and help her to be better than me, and so I'm finding that, she's lacking places she can go to. She lacks, support, and she, even though she has me to really help her, and my daughter is very blessed, she's fortunate that she has people in her lives and mentors, and because I teach her everything that she should know, and so I'm giving her a lot of the tools already, and so she's very fortunate that she has that. She also has a Taekwondo school that she grew up in. And then last year we had a few suicides in her school, along with COVID, and so I started saying, hey, you know what, COVID actually, thanks to COVID, because COVID pushed us into because last year, a year ago, I was already saying I got some contractor to come out and we started drawing some plans, and it was just like the price was like way over my head. I couldn't afford it, and so I said, hey, you know what? Let's push it on the side. And then COVID happened, so we started moving our building in my office into the position that it's in right now. So it just kind of worked itself into it, and then I said, you know what? I can't afford that much, but then I could probably afford a chunk at a time. So then I had a whole bunch of contractors come out to, you know, bid for it, and then one guy, Timco Construction, you know,
shout out to Timco.
Hey, Taekwondo. Okay, there's a surprise element too. You guys are gonna hear on Saturday. And if you can't be there in person, be there live on Facebook. We're gonna share with you guys that's another big surprise at the end. So you know, he came out and he said, you know what, I love your program. I want to be a part of it. So then he came in and built the whole thing for us, or redid paint, ceiling, office, you know. And the walls, and so it looks amazing. It looks more professional. Some kid came in and said, "Hey, Ms. Zai, your place looks so much better. It looks professional now." And I'm like, "Like it wasn't before."
Because you know they're gonna tell you the truth.
And
like,
it was.
what did it look like
It
before?
looks like a Taekwondo school, and you know, it's I don't know, but then now it looks so much better.
If you were there before, and now you've entered it. It's a different atmosphere. It's a different environment now. So I went in and I was like, what happened here?
Where did it go? So to answer your question, that's what drove me to build the center, was because one, it's always been something that I wanted to do as a kid, to provide a sanctuary for kids, and then seeing my daughter go through her struggle as a teenager, she needed some place to go to really hang up, and I call it hang up her hurt and her depression and her oppression, have a place where she can speak to her peers or feel safe, and then on top of that, also be able to provide that service to other kids who don't have the same privilege as my daughter, you know, and so that's how it all came to be. But it's really just, you know, a place where kids can say, hey, we're safe, we're going to have fun, and mom and dad feels like it's not a, you know, it's not something, they're not going to worry about them, and so we have all kinds of little things that, you know,
you can do there.
We can do over there, and it's we'll share it on Saturday with all the.
I don't want to spoil everything, but I do want to say that while growing up, I'm not going to tell all the stories here, but Zai and I searched for that. I think when we were younger too, we would try to go to places where we thought was safe to go. Of course, your mom did not think it was good for us to go. So.
My mom.
So
I love her. So
I know. She's like a second mom. But you know, I think that's so important because you saw that as a young child or a young adult, and then now you have a teen, and you see the same need.
Right.
And it is very important to not only provide your own teenager or your own kids a safe place to go to, but also the community to have parents and, you know, guardians to allow their kids to go to and feel safe, and to know that they're not going to go there to, you know, do things that will harm their future or harm themselves. And that's so important. And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to ask this, because I'm like, what drove you, or what inspired you to do this? And that's I think they're really
well, I mean, like, especially right now because of COVID, and a lot of the kids have been sheltered. They've been told certain things to fear, and now they're having emotionally, you know, they're having a hard time coming back into society to function as normal kids like they were before, you know. And so, I mean, you and I grew up playing outside until dark, and then we came home and, you know, we play with things, climb trees, and throw dirt at each other, right? That was
hiking.
Hiking.
I was doing hiking, swimming, tanning. Like, there was so many outdoors activities that we did that I don't even recall ever going to a movie together.
No. Because we were always outside.
Playing basketball or running or jogging. And that has totally changed.
You can't really do that.
Yeah, you can't do that now. So
that's what we're doing, is we're providing an indoor place where teens, and you know, and I want to apologize to all the people who are saying, how come it's not for the little kids too? And specifically for teens, only because they are the ones that are missing the love and the support and the understanding, because as adolescents, as the little kids, they have parents, they have play dates. Parents are still making play dates, and they can still go to the park and do stuff.
The jump houses,
The
trampolines.
Exactly, they still want to do and still think it's cool. But for teenagers, they're at this point where they're not old enough to make legal decisions, can't drive, can't go out and do their own things. But parents also don't want to pay aren't paying a lot of attention to them, because they're letting go of that leash and they're getting a little bit independent. And so it's really hard, and they're emotionally going through a whole bunch of stuff. Their body's changing, they're changing internally, externally, and so they're just like completely confused. But no one's really talking to them and educating them in an appropriate way to where they get a good grasp of what life is and what life is going to be. So the Teen Center is built. We're going to have workshop. We're going to have fun activities and mentorship and counselings, to where we're going to help them not only be in a safe, fun place with their peers, but also at the same time have a place where they can come together and do workshops. Like, we're going to have all kinds of workshops. Bring in entrepreneurs, bring in business owners and professionals who are going to come in and talk about and educate and mentor them. Like how I'm mentoring my daughter, I'm going to have other mentors along with myself to mentor these teens, so that by the time, as long as they stay in our program, by the time they become an adult, like a legal adult, 18 or 19 years old, and they're going off into college, they are going to understand who they are, what they want to be, and how to get there. And because
who to reach out to. In case they're confused, or they don't know where to go. That's so important when you're a teenager. Because I remember us, like, when you want to go to college, who do you really talk to?
Some people don't have that opportunity or that privilege, because we still have kids who are coming from homes or backgrounds where they don't have, the resources or the support, or parents who have the knowledge and the background to say, hey, these are the people you go to. So what I'm doing is I'm coming in and I'm saying, hey, look, I will take care of that. I will find the people, right? I'm your first person. I can find a second person. I can find the people, the resources, and we're going to connect you with these people, so that if this is what you want to be, you can go test it out, So we're going to also have, if let's say that your son or your daughter comes in and they know what they kind of know what they want to be. Let's say they want to be an attorney or something, or an electrician. We can connect you with an electrician and do some shadowing. I used to shadow for, the mayor of Chico, and I wanted to be the mayor of Chico for, and get into politics and all that stuff, because I got to shadow them and see what they do. We were even on TV, so then you get to see kind of what they do, and that could serve as a motivation, or it could also serve as a, like, knowledge of, no way, I don't want to be in that field, right? And so what we're doing is, the purpose at the end of the day is to provide emotional, spiritual support, but then also provide them with bridging the gap between teens to adulthood, because that is the most, they're very vulnerable, and we want to provide them with so much knowledge, that realistic knowledge, so that they can make a firm decision by the time they're an adult, like simple things like how to balance a book, how to use a credit card. What is a credit card?
Right, how to apply for college, how to look
you
for apartments, and looking at a good place to live versus, just taking the most, like, the cheapest place and then living in a neighborhood where it's not safe. Getting car insurance, getting a driver's license. So
those are the stuff that school don't teach you. So we're gonna step in. We're gonna say, hey, look, this is the real stuff. This is real life. Stuff you don't get in school. Now we're gonna provide that for you. And I'm very proud to say that my daughter has a very good head on her shoulder. Because she understands a lot of this stuff. Because the way that I speak to her, the way that I teach her, is different, and she gets it. She goes, oh, if you put it that way, I get it. And so now she's the point where she is very mature, and she can make decisions, and she understands, Mom, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to be, this is how I'm going to get there, and these are the people that are going to help me get there. And she's very open about it. Now, and that's what I love so much about her, and so I want that passion and that drive to be in like all the people that come into my program.
Yeah. And I think that's such a great example when you can influence and mentor your own children, especially your own teens, and then, like you said, replica that program or that mentorship style, that curriculum, and give that knowledge, that those tools, those skills to the community's teenagers, to the families so in the surrounding area, if not from wherever they're coming from, and no matter what background they're from, that they're gonna learn all those steps, like you said, that schools. And sometimes families are not able to teach or don't have time to teach. So I think that's so wonderful. I'm so glad that you are actually doing that. So you talked about what you want to accomplish. So I'm going to move on to the next question. We have a couple more. So now that you have accomplished and set your, iYa Teen Center, what are your goals now for your Taekwondo studio in general now? Like what are you moving towards? I know I don't want you to tell all your secrets, but like you've now turned it into partly a teen center. But what is like what are your next goals in the next 5 years for your Taekwondo studio in general?
My studio? I'm gonna teach Taekwondo until the day I can't teach because I love what I do, But what I want to see happen is I want to start growing the Taekwondo school to where if kids want to be instructors, if they want to have their own business, so then I want to be like kind of like the mother company and say, hey, I'm going to teach you how to do that. I'm not particularly expanding myself or my brand, but I want to be the mentor to say, hey, Johnny, now that you're a second degree black belt, let's work towards your third degree and fourth degree so that I'll train you the ins and outs of how to run a business, how to be a cool instructor, and then now you can go and be your own instructor and push kids, my students to go out there and be their own boss, and I tell kids already as they come in, I said, okay, someone has to come and take my job, or you're going to have to, if you really love Taekwondo, and we have some kids that pretty much live in the school because they love it so much. Yeah. And so I tell them, I said, hey, you're going to own a school, and this is how you're going to do it, and I'm going to teach you how to get there. And if you really want one, I'm going to show you how to do it. Right. So that's kind of the next big step for me is really helping my own students grow and go do their own things, and take what I have taught them and go and do it for somebody else. So that would fulfill me in the next phase of my Taekwondo career.
Those are great goals. That's really wonderful that you actually want your students to learn your business skills, to learn how to manage and work and be a leader with people, and have a team of their own or to instruct others. That's really powerful. So our last question is, I don't want to take up too much of everybody's time, but before we end here, share with us about your Saturday event, because that's really what we're here, right? Is to talk about the buzz and the excitement about Saturday, because I know that some people haven't heard about it, some people don't really know about it. What's happening this Saturday? June 5th at 9 a.m.
Yes.
Okay, so June 5th, this Saturday, three days from now. Yeah. So what are the big things that are happening? Well, what's gonna when we get to that to your studio? What are we expecting?
Okay. Well, to me it's super exciting. It is the 10-year anniversary of the Taekwondo school, so we're going to be throwing like a big birthday party. That's what I call it.
Wow.
It's like a big birthday party.
I love birthday parties.
Yeah. So we celebrate kids. We celebrate people's birthday, but we don't celebrate business birthdays. So this is going to be iYa's 10th birthday, and so we're going to have a big birthday party.
Wow.
And we have some officials coming. We have different Taekwondo martial arts instructors and other martial arts discipline coming in as well from all over the city. My friends, some of my close friends are going to come and support. We have an officer from the federal government, who is a chief warrant officer 5.
Wow.
1 of 5 in the whole United States. It will be attending as well, and so we have some really cool guests. And if you know their background, you're like, yeah, that's pretty cool, And then we have a band.
Mm.
We have a live
Wow.
band that is going to be playing.
Okay. I can't wait because
Yeah.
I'm going. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going. I want to go see.
Domino's Pizza is going to be serving pizza. So if you like pizza,
Wow.
we have a lot of kids, so we're going to be serving pizza.
You can't go wrong with pizza.
Yeah, and there'll be some, healthy food there as well. And then we have our team. I don't want to give away too much about the ribbon cutting, but the ribbon cutting is going to be really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So bring your own scissor if you're going to come. And then we also have our demonstration team. Black belts are going to be doing a small presentation. And then we have, at the very end, very end, there's a big surprise that, to me, it's really big and really important. So I want to make sure that the whole entire community knows what that surprise is. And, it's going to be like, bring some, tissue because I can already tell it's going to be really emotional. Yeah, because this project was built out of love, This project, passion, love, and the people that were involved saw the passion, saw the love and the purpose, and they did it the same way. And so all of this is completely what love is, and it's gonna be amazing. So,
oh my gosh,
yeah, it's gonna be amazing. Good Day Sacramento. Shout out to Good Day Sacramento. They're going to be there. They're our local, one of our local news station. They'll be there at 9:00. So if you want to be,
on TV.
On TV, you get your 15-second minutes of fame. Say hello to everybody. And let's see, that's it. And we have a very, very phenomenal Susan Kovalik is going to be our keynote speaker.
Oh,
so she's an amazing woman. She's made a lot of changes in our educational system. She knows a lot about teens and the brain, and has helped people all across the world. And so we have a very, very phenomenal guest speaker.
Wow.
So we definitely want to make sure that we attend. And then the cool thing is, if you can't be in person, you can be anywhere in the world and still participate via Zoom.
Yeah.
So it will be live on my Facebook page. So if you're not following me yet, please follow me on my Facebook. It's Xai Lor. I guess I'll put it in there, or you'll put it in there somewhere.
Yeah.
So they can follow me, and then when we go live, you guys can see from your screen and see what we're doing and the cool stuff. And if you have friends or teams that are in the surrounding area in Sacramento, and you want your team to be a part of our program, it's free. It's a nonprofit, so it's my personal nonprofit. It's free to the public, and if there's anybody out there who are have grants that you're willing to support us in this endeavor, I would love to speak with you. So yeah, but everything's done out of love, and we're just trusting that the universe is going to bless us and make this grow and support all the teens in the area. So it's open to the public. It's free. The parents just have to register their teen, and then sign a waiver. So that way when the kids come, we can. And really cool. We even have an app, where they get a notification when the kids check in, and then when they leave, they'll check out, and then there's a little notification in your text that your son or daughter will be home shortly. So,
wow. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I really hope that everybody checks out iYa, I think, on Facebook, Xai Lor on Facebook. I think you have Instagram. There's so many things. And if you haven't seen all our information, I've posted it several times on Project We Inspire, on several of the postings already. So if you're curious, to know more about Saturday and to know more about Xai, I also left the business email, phone number, address, and everything. Feel free to message Xai. Again, for anything that you guys want to know about Saturday. So thank you so much, Xai, for giving us, always. And I can't wait in the future once you launch your book. And anything else that's going to happen, we're going to see Xai again.
We're putting the book on hold. And to all of my friends and followers who are already, waiting for the book, I read an excerpt from I think it was chapter 3, in one of my live videos. But I personally decided that it wasn't time, so we're pushing the book back because the focus right now is really for the teens, and so my book can come later, but this time is really for the teens. So I personally apologize for saying that I was going to have it done at the same time, but it doesn't make sense that it isn't done at the same time. So the book will come later, but the
teens are more important, the center,
yeah.
and celebrating that this Saturday is more important. That's very wise, very smart. Totally support it. We can definitely interview again when you come out with the book, so then we can promote her Xai's book. So thank you guys so much. Happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day to everybody. We'll see you guys on Saturday at 9 a.m. at iYa Taekwondo Studio. All right. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys. Bye.